Hey friends, and welcome back to the With Love podcast. My name is Ronnie, and we're back for another episode. I'm super excited for today because today we're going to do everything I've been loving recently, spring into summer edition. Of course, this is the With Love podcast, so we obviously have to do all the things I've been loving. So let's just get right into it. But first, I do want to show really quick my cute coffee I made this morning. She's in our cute little wine glass. She's a white chocolate coconut latte girl today. Cheers. Okay, so let's get right into it. Like I said, I just want to go into things that I've been loving recently, spring and into summer. I think for me, spring is just so exciting and so motivating. I don't know, it's just a season of like just bringing so much color back into life, I feel like. And it's just such a fun and exciting time for me. So there are so many things that I've been loving recently. I just want to get right into it. Number one, we're starting with the TikTok trend. I don't know that all of you guys have seen it, but at least it's been on my For You page a lot. And it's sprinkling whimsy and magic into everyday life. Are you kidding? Yes, please. I literally love it. It could be as simple as someone literally like putting sprinkles in like their coffee cold foam or something to like wearing a pajama set for like their whole entire morning routine. And so I wanted to share a couple of things that are just things that I do to sprinkle a little bit of magic into my everyday life, make it a little more fun and exciting. First, I have a fun drink always. I mean, clearly we have our nice little coffee today and we put her in a fun glass and it just makes things 10 times better. How could it not? Another thing that I love doing is staying in my PJ set. I am a huge PJ girl. Like, I love a pajama set. I love a cute set, anything. And throw on a comfy robe with it. Are you kidding? It's my dream. I love it so much. So, staying in my pajamas, like for my whole morning routine, kind of romanticizing it, having a fun drink with me always are things that I love doing to make life just a little more magical, I guess. Other things I've been loving recently, of course, it being springtime, I'm so into like florals. My boyfriend got me a mug from my favorite store ever, Anthropologie, and it's so cute. It's like florally and it has a little R that's in gold on it. I love it so much, and I've been a tea girl recently, talking about fun drinks. Obviously, I love coffee, but I have been a hot tea girl, and I've been doing like lemon ginger in my cute little floral mug, and it's just the greatest thing ever. And I think the cute mug makes it taste better, of course. So it just makes it more aesthetic in general. So I just automatically love it. Other things I've been loving, I've been making my own coffee syrups recently. I for Easter got these like cute bottles for my Easter basket. I think they are from Amazon, but they're so cute and I just like make my little syrups, my sugar, the water, and then the one I'm drinking today, like I said, is a toasted coconut. So we handmade that syrup, guys, and it's pretty dang good. So I keep them in my cute little bottles. I just love the aesthetic of it. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I'm a big YouTube girl, and Natalie, I think it's Zasik, is like one of my favorite influencers ever. I literally love her. Nat's Cafe, shout out. I follow all of the recipes. But like she's just my inspo for making syrups and she's made so many cute ones like blueberry. I've done that one. Um I've done the banana bread syrup and I just love finding new coffee recipes, making my own syrups. That's literally like such a huge hobby of mine and so that's something I've been loving doing, especially in the spring. I mentioned this, but I feel like springtime, I'm just able to sprinkle so much color just back into my life. I feel like I've kind of refined my style in a sense of like, especially in the winter months, I was kind of wearing lots of neutrals, obviously like red and green during Christmas, but lots of neutrals and kind of keeping it basic. But of course, we're sprinkling some color back into life. I love spicing up my wardrobe with some color, fun patterns, prints. Like I said, florals are a huge thing for me. I actually just got this sweater and I had it in blue first. And I love pairing it with like my blue sweater with like a blue floral tank from Old Navy. And it's literally like my favorite outfit ever. Just keeping it simple, but also adding fun pops of color, I feel like makes everything so much more exciting. I don't have it on currently if you're watching, but I have also loved just mixing metals and wearing fun jewelry to spice up my outfits. I love, love, love on Pinterest just people mixing golds and silvers, and that's something that I definitely want to start doing more, especially this summer. But I also love the look of watches. I've been a big watch girl recently, and I have a lot of my great grandmother's jewelry that kind of our family just kept around. And she was always such a fashion icon. I looked up to her so much, and so sometimes I'll wear some of her old watches or old necklaces or jewelry, like whatever it is, and I love wearing that with my outfits. Number one, because I'm just such a sentimental person, I think, and it just makes me like so happy to have something of hers on. But also I just think that she like had the best fashion ever, and it just makes an outfit so much more fun. Okay, another thing that I've been loving is reading. I know for a lot of people, the springtime isn't like reading season. I think for a lot of people, they enjoy reading like in the fall and in the winter because it's cozy season, like to like curl up, read a book, be cozy. But for some reason, it's not that way for me. Like, I struggle reading in the fall or in the winter unless it's like a book based then. And like, I'm a big rom com girl, like when it comes to reading or like faith-based books. And so for me, I got started again on a Bob Goff book. I haven't ever read this one. This one is called Undistracted, and I have it here with me today. This is Undistracted by Bob Goff. It's been my new spring read, and last year was whenever I read his other two books, Love Does and Everybody Always, and they were game-changing for me and my faith. I've talked about this before when I did a book rec episode, but I just love reading books like this because alongside my Bible because I feel like it helps me so much with application. And in the Bible, Jesus told a lot of stories, and that was a lot of the way how he communicated with people. And so I love reading other people's stories as well and just hearing the way that they're living out their faith, their wisdom, and yeah, just the way that they're living out their faith, honestly, hearing it from other people, their stories, and just different experiences. I feel like God's given us a community and God's put people in our lives and books like this for us to come across so we can just grow more in our faith and grow together. And so I love this book. It is so good. It talks about honestly just how distracted we can get from living out our purpose. It literally says capture your purpose, rediscover your joy. And that's what it talks about. It talks about rediscovering our joy, not being distracted by things of this world, but like fully living out like a life that's purposeful. And so I love it, and I wanted to share some of the places that I've bookmarked. If you're watching, I don't know if you can see this, but we're only on chapter 4 and I've bookmarked so many things. But I also have been loving these bookmarks. This is from Daily Grace Co. and they're Bible study sticky notes. So cute. If you're watching, you can see, but they're just like so good. I don't know if lighting is good on this, but basically it's just like a bunch of little like tabs, sticky notes, things you can write on or just like slip in the pages. And I love them. I use these for literally anytime I read a book like this because I love being able to go back and just read the things that stood out to me. So I want to read a few things that I have loved from this book so far. Let's get into it. So let's start with this right here. This is literally like, I think page 2, but it was talking about he was looking up at something and didn't look down to see that there was like a literal rattlesnake like at his foot. And he said, sometimes we're so busy looking up and looking forward, trying to figure out the next move in our lives, or looking backward at all the places we've been that we don't look down to figure out where we actually are. And then like later he goes on to talk about just admitting the fact that everything, like it says, are you willing to accept for a moment that all this noise is a distraction? And I think that's kind of what we get caught up in. I think it was kind of like a realization moment for me, just realizing that I am caught up so much in things that I'm too worried about for the future or like stuck on the past, or there's so many things going on that I'm never present in the fully moment. And I wouldn't say never, but I definitely have caught myself in moments like that before. Another thing that I thought was so good and I think is so true. This like literally hit me like a truck. I think whenever we talk about the enemy, when we talk about Satan, like the devil, I think, it's just talked about that he's very sneaky and like very tricky in the way that he tries to like attack us. It's never gonna be like fully in your face, and like sometimes it may be, but he's very sneaky in the way that he does it. And so I love this. It says, remember the delight of darkness is to amplify distraction, right? So like that's what Satan does. Like he tries to make us so distracted from our purpose. Like that's his goal, is like to distract us from God, to distract us from our purpose. And I thought that was so good because it's like a reminder, like not always is the devil gonna like come straight at us and be like, yes, I want you to do the wrong thing, or like I'm trying to distract you, but like he'll do it by putting distractions in our lives or like amplifying those. And so I loved this. Remember the delight of darkness is to amplify distraction. Maybe it's happening in your life this very moment and you don't even realize it. distraction is sneaky like that. The fix to all of this is as simple as it is hard. The way to beat distraction is to become captivated by something so much bigger and so much better, such as purpose and joy. And I thought that was so good. And like, that's something that I don't remember if I talked about this in my last episode or not, but just being so captivated and in love with following God that we're just not even like, we don't even entertain the things of this world or think about the things of this world or other things that normally would have our attention. And I thought that was so good. It's just being so captivated by purpose and joy that we're no longer distracted by those things. And I thought that was so good and I loved it so much. And so I have been loving continuing to read these and I'm super excited to keep reading it. Another thing I really liked when it was talking about distraction, it asked a couple of questions and it says, what are you doing with your life? Have you drifted from a place that feels like home? Have you demoted yourself from an optimist looking for virtue to a modern cynic? Are you quick to anger and dismay? Or do you find silver linings and possibilities everywhere you look? What would it take to begin looking for the virtues in people and the circumstances that you find yourself in? And like, these are questions that genuinely I asked myself because I think like again like we can become so distracted by things of this world that we don't have joy, that we get distracted by it, that we feel like we're far from ourselves or we're far from our purpose or like we're far from God. And I just thought it was so good. It says God invites us all to step out into the sunlight and he's waving us toward the plain. I know sometimes it's dark, but level the wings, get some altitude, keep your eye on the compass and point your life toward Jesus. And I just thought that was so good. I loved it so much. And there's so many more that I want to read that I'm sure I will continue talking about in another episode. But those are some ones that I absolutely loved from reading this book. It's so good. And like I said, I just can't wait to continue reading it. Another thing that I've been loving doing this spring is just being more consistent in reading the word. I know I talked about this in my last episode that I wanted to be more consistent and just get to know God more personally, get to know who God is and the characteristics of God. And that's something that I have been doing recently. I finished the month of April, my reading plan. I was reading 1st and 2nd Corinthians and I finished that and I was just so excited and I feel like my desire to read the word is just growing every day. And I can't wait to read this book. I can't wait to read my Bible and just learn more about God, learn more about how I can reflect God in my everyday life. And here I have her with me. She's so beautiful. But yeah, I just have been love reading my Bible and I am finishing up Ephesians right now with our D group. We had our last D group last week and it's just such a blessing to have that group of girls just meet every week and I just love doing that. I am sad because we are on summer break and it's literally crazy. I'm recording this and I have my exit meeting for softball today and then I'm literally going home tomorrow morning. And so it's just so crazy to think that this year went by so fast, but I am so grateful for my D group, for just the people who are helping me grow in my faith and helping me in my walk with the Lord. And so that's another thing I've been loving is just reading the word more, getting to know God better, just growing in my relationship with him and having the D group that I've had this whole semester. Lastly, I want to just talk about one last thing that I've absolutely been loving, and I talked about this before, but just being in creation and going on prayer walks. Here on campus, we have like the greatest little setup. We have the cutest little pond and obviously like a little lap, like sidewalk around it. And I love going early in the morning and just going on a prayer walk to start my day. For me, I definitely think better when I'm moving, and I love going on just a prayer walk and just literally sitting in the presence of God and talking to him about my day or talking to him about life or just things that are on my heart. And I just love doing that and I love being in creation while I'm doing it. I feel that God has just put me in such a beautiful place and I try to soak it up every moment that I can. But yeah, just going on prayer walks, really just sitting and talking to God about what's on my heart, just things that I'm learning, things that I ask him to show me, different opportunities and just things like that. Like genuinely, I just love going and talking to God and going on a walk and being in creation while I'm doing so. And so I would definitely suggest doing that, especially this spring going into summer. Like it's so fun to be outside, the nice weather is coming out. And it's just something that I absolutely love during this time of year. So I would definitely suggest you try it. Just get outside. And even if you don't go on a walk, just like sitting outside and being in prayer and, it kind of opens a headspace a little bit, getting to see creation. And yeah, That's literally it. I just want to do like a short little episode of just talking about things that I've been loving, ranging from literally TikTok trends, things I've been wearing, books I'm reading, to my Bible prayer walks. Like whatever it is, I just wanted to talk about all the things that I've been loving recently, especially in this season. Like I said, it's just so fun to me. Just springtime in general and going into summer just feels so exciting, so new. Like I'm feeling very inspired and motivated all the time. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have such a great day, such a great week whenever you're listening. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next episode. With love, Ronnie.